Today I'm going to talk about the One UI software overlay on the Galaxy and the Samsung Galaxy phones. So the One UI is basically the system overlay over the stock Android, and it's pretty exciting. I have been using this thing for a while, and I have updated this Galaxy S9 to the latest One UI 2.1. It's getting more and more futuristic and more exciting, more and more customizable. So that's why I'm gonna go deep inside this thing. I'm gonna discuss this thing over here. The Samsung software, I think, is the most colorful, customizable, and beautiful software around the market. Yeah, it's not like the stock Android, but it's very beautiful, it's very fast, and it's getting better and better with the software updates. So this software is not boring by any means. It's more exciting, it's more beautiful to look at it. This thing was out in 2018 with One UI 1.0, and it was the successor of the Samsung experience. It's more beautiful than the stock Android. It's more customizable, it's more refined and modified than the stock Android. But yeah, it's fast. It's getting more and more fast with the software updates. First of all, talking about the always on display and the screen lock over this Galaxy S9. The always on display, it's more colorful, and it's very useful feature. I use it very much. And yeah, you can change the colors on this thing, you can change the clock styles, and you can change the notification settings. You can just go to the notifications directly from here, yeah, just by tapping 2 times on this thing. If you just receive a notification or an SMS, you just double tap on this thing and you will just go directly to the app, not by opening your phone by swiping your lock screen. So you just will go directly to the app. So it's pretty easy, and it's like very comfortable using this. So the lock screen animation feels good. It's the clock just goes from here, the clock of the always on display. Yeah, just look at this. So it goes from here to here, and by swiping this, you just enters the screen, and the icons comes like from all the sides. So it feels more fluid and more exciting. The lock screen clocks are customizable. You can change this thing. You can change many settings on the lock screen. You can add things. You can add notification settings. The home screen feels much more good than the previous one. It's more colorful, and the icons are very well engineered. They're well modified, and the colors of the icons colors are a little bit changing with every software update. So it feels more colorful, it feels more great in the hand. You can just reshape the icons, you can just change the size of the icons, the number of the icons. There's a lot of customizations on the home screen, so it's more exciting. You just feel that there are many things in your hand you can just change on your phone. It's not like boring, it's more fun. It's more, looking at this thing is you just feel that you are looking something more beautiful, more precisely engineered. So these icons are very beautiful, and it's very fast. The app drawer is very fast. You can just change this thing. You can just remove the app drawer, or you just put all the apps on your screen. You can just keep it this. You can just keep a button on this, on the app drawer. Weather widget it's clean, it looks very beautiful, and I have this Note 10 wallpaper on this thing. It looks very stunning. The status bar, it's more beautiful, it's more well shaped, and it's more customizable. But yeah, it feels a little bit slow on putting down, so it doesn't feel that much smooth or fluid like on the iPhones. There are a lot of information you can just change. You can just put it on and off, and you can just quickly go to that. So it shows the many information on this thing. And with the One UI 2.1, it has added some new features like the power option, the SIM card. The dual SIM card options are hidden at first, so it's not like taking the space on over here. So overall, this thing is a little bit close to the stock Android, and it feels more comfortable. It feels more to be in control. So it's like you are having almost 70% of your settings on your status bar. So it's very good in a sense of practicality. You just do not have to go to the settings every time. But yeah, it needs a little bit refinement or modification, and pulling down this thing is a little bit difficult. It lags, but I think on the high refresh rate displays it will be a little bit quicker. But generally this feels a little bit more slow. It doesn't feel that much smooth and fluid like on the iPhone. These gestures, and I'm very frustrated using these gestures. It feels like using something that is very terribly copied, and we have a sentence in the folk wisdom that for copying it needs a very high level of intelligence, especially the side ones. They are pretty terrible. It feels like you are in a car having an advanced air suspension and you are going on the speed bumps over and over for an unlimited time. So it's pretty terrible and frustrating, and it's more immature, and it's very badly copied from the iOS, I think. And yeah, it's good that we have the options of changing this. I think the Samsung engineers knew this, that these gestures are pretty frustrating and not everyone is going to use this, so they had the option, so it's a good thing. If you use this home screen gestures for most of the apps and you just leave it and do not clear this thing from here, it will drain the battery very much. I personally have felt this thing on the Galaxy S9 Plus with me, but I don't know on the other phones if this is the case or not, and it drains battery pretty much fast on the standby. So every time you have to clear the RAM from here before keeping your phone on the standby, because if you leave so many apps like open on the RAM, so it's gonna drain your battery. And it's like the app, there is no app refresh. The apps open very instantly, but it's gonna drain your battery. I personally have felt this thing on the Galaxy S9 Plus. I'm not sure about the other phones, and it's like the worst copy of the iOS. Look, iOS is a completely different operating system than the Android, and the apps management, the RAM management is completely different on the iOS, the system management and overall the app handling is very different on the iOS. So iOS and Android are they are totally different operating systems. It's like copying something blindly without any refinement and without any modification. So I have felt this thing that on the Galaxy S9, if you keep the apps on the RAM by just using this gesture and going directly from the apps to the home screen, so it's draining battery. You're gonna have to lose some percentage of your battery. I hope this thing will get fixed in the upcoming software updates. The settings on the One UI, I think these settings are the most complete settings on any Android smartphone. It's like you have almost complete control on your phone. You just want what do you want on your phone. So it's like what you turn it on or off. Almost all of the phone can be controlled from here. So this listing is very great. It's very precise, I think, and it's closest to the stock Android on the Pixel, but yeah, it's more refined, it's more beautiful. These small icons just look like the stock Android, and they are more beautiful and more well made than the stock Android, I think. And in fact, it has more customizations and more features specific for these phones, for the Samsung phones, than the stock Android. One thing which I love the most on these settings is the display option. So the display, the screen mode, the display mode, it is one of the best thing to control your display and to have your favorite colors and your favorite mode on these AMOLED screens. These screens are very bright and beautiful. So you can change the color modes, the white balance, and you can change the different color balance on these advanced settings. I have reduced the red to 0 and I have put it here on the cool side, so it's like a snowy white screen. It is the most pleasurable and the most beautiful thing on any smartphone, I think. So these beautiful AMOLED screens are customizable on your own choice, so there is nothing better than this. And I personally love this color. The snowy white comes by selecting on the cool side and reducing the red to 0, so you get like a snowy white. So this is the most beautiful thing which I love in these settings. You can change the navigation bar. You have control on your screen resolution. Screen resolution, I think the highest is most the best, because on the 1080p and the 720p the screen looks a little bit blurry, but it almost have no effect on the battery life. So I think the highest resolution is perfect, because by reducing your screen resolution, you are not getting any any noticeable change in your battery life. The battery life is almost the same on all these three modes. So I think the higher resolution is more pleasurable, it's more beautiful. In the One UI 2.1 update, you have the dark and light mode options on the top of this window. The dark mode settings are on the top, so I think it's kind of more comfortable. You have the theme options. Your lock screen is highly customizable. There are a lot of features. Other options in these settings I like the most are the advanced features, in which you can control the screenshots, the screen recorder, and the direct share option is there. You can directly share the files with another Samsung phone by just selecting it, and you can control the animations, the gestures, and the motions. And one of the best feature which I like the most on these advanced settings is the one-handed mode. It's like you can set it on the gesture and you just swipe it down, and you can have a very great small beautiful window of your whole phone, and the size of this window can be changed. You can make it on one side or another, so it's like you have a complete phone under your one finger, and you have complete control on your phone. So it's very easy and comfortable in using in places like you do not have enough time, or you do not have you have only one hand to use this. Device care is I think more modified and more changed. It's made a little bit more beautiful than the previous One UI in this 2.1, and the battery usage on this One UI is like this. And I just cannot look at this, how copies this from the iOS, and it's a little bit more confusing. I think it's a good option that you have a separate chart for the screen on time, but yeah, it's a little bit more confusing. Every time you have to calculate the screen on time throughout your day, so it would be very comfortable if there is a total screen on time of one charge or one day at a time. So it's a little bit confusing for me. So overall these settings are pretty complete. They are you have total control on your phone. So I think the One UI has the most best settings on any Android smartphone. I like this camera app. It's like complete. You can control everything. You have almost all the control on your camera within this app. Another new feature added with this One UI update is that you can control many things in the video mode. So there is a pro option in the video mode. You can control many things in the video recording. So it's very useful. A new single take mode is added with this latest update, and it's kind of gimmicky thing, and it captures 15 seconds of recording, and it makes a video, or you can take photos out of this for some special moments. So I don't find this thing that much useful, but yeah, with the new latest update this thing has come. So overall this One UI is the best shape of any Android OS in the Android market. This is very colorful. It's more beautiful than any other Android phone. It's very well engineered. And one thing which I want to mention that I like these apps, the calendar, the calculator, the clock, the voice recorder, and the My Files. So these Samsung apps are very much more refined. I think they are more useful, and they are getting more and more features with another update. So I'm constantly updating these things. Overall, this One UI is pretty complete. It's the most beautiful, I think. So I have noticed from the TouchWiz UI of the Samsung that Samsung has focused basically on two things. One is the beauty. So the beauty of the user interface is very well maintained. It's made more beautiful and colorful over the time, and it's more refined and engineered to beautify this thing over and over the time. And another thing is that the customizations, this UI has I think the most customizations on any Android phone. Yeah, I know the stock Androids also have many customizations, but this UI has so many customizations, so many controls in your hand. Another thing which I want to mention is this, the AR zone is added in this latest new feature, and I think I do not find this thing more useful. It's like a very raw form of emojis. They are buggy, they are not that much beautiful. They cannot capture the faces and cannot copy the same like as the iPhones. So the iPhones have so many sensors for the facial recognition, so that they can copy your complete facial expression. So by taking only pictures, you cannot just make the emojis. So I think this needs more refinement. I think there's a little bit of entertainment for kids, but yeah, it's not that much useful and not that much fun. I have noticed one thing, that the battery life is very improved on the One UI, and it has been improving with every software update. So it's very beautiful. The standby time on this One UI is excellent, and the battery management is very good, although it needs improvement. The RAM management needs very much improvement. So guys, this is all about the One UI. If you have got bored, so take a sigh, and please be sure to subscribe and like if you like this video, and see you in the next one.